So, I'm sure everyone is familiar with, or at least heard of, the popular show titled My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, right? Well, I myself don't know much about it, but my best friend is a big fan. He wanted me to become a fan of the show as well because he said that the show has good morals and is pretty funny, despite its original intended audience being little girls. While I don't enjoy people trying to make me like something, he is my best friend, so I thought I'd take his word for it. This all happened when I was walking home from school with him though, so of course while we were walking he couldn't exactly send me a link. He said that he would send me a link when he got home. After we parted ways, it was only a short walk home for me. When I got home, I checked my computer to see if he had sent me a link. His house was a bit farther than mine, and he hadn't sent me the link because he hadn't gotten home yet. I didn't mind. I wasn't too eager to be sucked into a fandom, or to disappoint him if I didn't like it for that matter. To pass the time, I decided to disregard my homework and play video games. After a few hours of battling other online gamers, I remembered that my friend was supposed to send me that link. I got off the game after one last battle and won to check my Facebook. Sure enough, he had sent me a link with a message. It was hard for me to decide which episode to send you, and I personally didn't like the first episode, so I just sent you this one. It should be enough to show you how awesome the show is. I clicked the link and it directed me to a video on YouTube. It seemed to be an episode of the show from the second season. I paused it so I could read the description, to see if it could give me any ideas on what the episode was about. Not much help there. It only stated the name of the episode, Putting Your Hoof Down. That didn't help me much, but when I went to click the play video to start it and I yawned, I looked at the clock and it was nearly 1 in the morning. I quickly tried to decide whether I should watch the video or not because I had school tomorrow. I woke up grumpy and tired like how I usually wake up. I tried to think back to last night. I couldn't remember if I had watched the video or not. I have a very bad memory when it comes to being sleepy. I don't think I dreamed anything significant, but I did think I did have a dream. I can remember something. In my dream, I think I saw a cartoon character. I can't remember it clearly, but it was yellow, and it was giggling. Huh. Odd. Well, it was just a dream. Dreams often make no sense. I can just disregard the giggling yellow thing. As I had said, I couldn't remember if I had watched that video or not, but my friend wanted me to watch it, and I had to leave for school in half an hour. I quickly got dressed and ready for school, and then hurried to my computer. I found my computer turned on. I must have forgotten to turn it off before I slept. I pressed the button for the monitor to turn on, and it did, but to a white screen. Just white. Nothing more, nothing less. At first, it scared me. I thought that something had gone wrong with my computer, but after shaking the mouse, I saw my cursor again and a bar rose from the bottom. I let out a sigh of relief. I recognized that bar. It was the progress bar that shows you how far you've gone on a YouTube video. It seems that I had left the computer on a YouTube video and it was on full screen. I still couldn't remember what happened last night, but I deduced that I must have opened the link, pulled it from the full screen to watch, and then got tired and went to bed. I had a bit of time to spare before leaving to school, so I decided to watch it. And also something that you should know, despite My Little Pony's large popularity, I knew next to nothing about the show. I didn't know what any of the characters looked like, I didn't know what kind of comedy the show used. All I knew was that it was meant to be a kids show and that many people who weren't kids happened to like it. So I clicked play and a logo popped up. I didn't bother to read it because I really didn't care about the companies who made the show. And then the show itself started. I yawned and stared at the clock. I think I missed the opening sequence because I did that, but I didn't care enough to go back to watch it. And so I caught my first glimpse of this popular show. There were about 3 characters on screen. One was yellow, another was blue, and the final was purple. The style was what I expected it to be, cartoony and cutesy. A 4th character entered. She was pink. She seemed to be carrying a bag of something, some kind of supplies. The other characters didn't notice her. They were caught up in a conversation that was barely audible. The pink character strolled by, humming a happy tune while the background music played a happy song. But on her way, the bag she was carrying broke out at the bottom and the supplies fell out. They seemed to be construction supplies. There was a hammer, some planks of wood, a knife. I don't know why that would be there for construction. A few large stakes, and a box of nails. The box of nails broke open on the impact with the ground and the nails spread out on the ground. Despite the noise this would have caused, the pink character didn't seem to notice. She went on her way happily, probably only to realize what had happened when she opened the bag to get her supplies later. After the pink one left, 3 other characters seemed to have decided to go somewhere. They turned to walk towards their destination when one of them, it was the blue one, tripped on a plank of wood and fell face first into the pile of nails. This surprised me. The blue character lifted their face from the ground and it had nails stuck in its face all over. There was a lot of blood as well. Is this a kid's show? The purple one gasped in surprise and immediately started to try and help the blue one out. They picked up the hammer and used the claw end to pry the nails out one by one while the blue one screamed. The yellow character wanted to help out as well, so they quickly walked forward to the other 2, only to trip and fall like the blue one had. When they got up, this part scared me. They had 2 of the large stakes impaled in their eyes. After this, I clicked the video to pause it and then turned off the monitor. This was My Little Pony? I thought it was supposed to be a kid's show. The beginning seemed to have fit the description well, but all that blood. I got up and grabbed my bag. It was time to go to school anyway. Throughout the school day, those scenes kept playing through my head. I'm not a hater of bloody things, it's just that when I find them where I thought I would find cute things. My best friend asked me something, but I had kind of spaced out so I didn't hear him. School passed and I was once again on my way home. My friend had an appointment or something, dentist I think, so he couldn't walk home with me. When I got home, I walked over to my computer. I suppose I would watch the rest of that pony video. I turned my monitor on and jumped. I was greeted by the image of the yellow character with large stakes impaling their eyes. I quickly played it again to get that image off my screen. The purple one was still trying to help the blue one out, and the yellow one began to stumble around blindly. Another character entered. This one was orange, and they were accompanied by a red character. The orange one started to try and help the yellow one out by pulling at the stakes. They were having trouble, so the red one went over to help. They both pulled with all their might and got the stakes out, but the stakes took the yellow one's eyes with them. The yellow one smiled, happy at being freed of the stakes. Blood ran down their face and from their eyes, creating a horrifying image. They stumbled around blindly, crashing into the orange and red characters. The orange and red characters fell down and onto the nails. They screamed when the nails pierced their bodies and writhed in agony as they bled out and died. The yellow one, blind, didn't know that they had died and smiled. It appeared that they were trying to get the purple one and blue characters. They probably still wanted to help. The yellow one fell along the ground for something to help with and ended up picking up the knife that had fallen. They stumbled forward, eager to help out their friends. But then the yellow one stumbled over something again and fell forward. The knife they were holding stabbed the blue one in on the neck. The blue one screamed again and fell into the purple one, knocking their hammer towards them. The purple one was impaled by the claw of the hammer and quickly died. The blue and purple characters stood there, leaning against each other and remaining standing, even though they were both dead. The yellow one pulled the knife out of the blue one, confused, but they continued to smile and stumble around. Another character entered. This one was a lighter shade of blue. They appeared frightened and ran over to the yellow one to question what had happened. The yellow one turned around to answer, but ended up slicing the blue one's head off. Still confused, the yellow one was sprayed with blood as the blue one fell to the ground, obviously dead. The yellow one took a few steps forward, slipped in the blood, and fell. They were impaled by the knife from the chin. You could even see where the knife went through their head. The tip was showing out of their forehead. The happy music continued to play and then the credits rolled. I stared at it in silence and horror. What just happened? I heard that the show had good morals and comedy. That didn't have good morals, and where I could see how someone could find it morbidly funny, it wasn't the comedy that I was expecting. It had the aura of happy, but that was not a happy ending. I stared at the screen for a little bit in silence, at that menu that shows at the end of every YouTube video with the thumbnails for the recommended videos. I shakily moved my cursor to exit out of the video. Maybe watch a cute video of a cat to make me feel better, and then it all came back to me. I remembered what I had done last night. I had clicked the link, and I had watched that video that my friend had sent me, and now I was watching Happy Tree Friends.